What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon, as always. And today we are just going to continue on this theme of growth and excellence and awesomeness. If you guys know me and if you listen to this podcast at all, you know I have the tendency to get fixated on your success, fixated on things like last week we talked about accountability. We talked about support. And this week, we're just going to take it to the next level. We're going to help you start to stack the momentum in the direction that it is that you need to go to get the life that I believe you deserve, because you know the mission of this podcast. It is to disrupt the way you think. It is to inspire you to think differently, and it is to give you the tools and the resources that you need to transform your life into the life that you deserve and desire. It's really that simple. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? That is a simple process. It's a simple mission. It is my passion, and that's what we show up here every week and try to provide you guys. So last week we talked about accountability and support and how you can't have one without the other, and how support by itself is weakness and it doesn't do the things you want it to do. If you haven't listened to that episode, guys, you've got to go listen to it. I talk about how support alone can be destructive, but when you add accountability to that support, that's when it becomes the dynamic duo, and that's when you get the things that you need out of life. Because when someone can hold you accountable, and they can support you and hold you accountable, that's the kind of person you want in your life. When someone is just pacifying and supporting you constantly, it becomes almost a crutch. So you got to have that accountability piece to go with it. Today, we're going to up the ante a little bit further. Today, we're going to talk about your standards. This isn't going to be your average Raise Your Standards podcast talk. I'm going to really help you today understand what your standards are, why they are what they are, and how they could be either propelling you to your success or holding you back. So what are your standards? What are standards in life? What does that even mean? I'm going to simplify it. Think of your standards as this. Let's take a step back. What are you tolerating? Like, that will tell you what your current standards are. If you look at your life and you look at the things in life that you are simply tolerating and not loving and living in abundance of, that will show you what your current standards are. So what you need your standards to be is your standards to be the highest level of who you are, of what you want to be. Are your standards in life in line with the life that you desire? Meaning the things that you're tolerating. Think about that for a second. Just stop, pause. What are you tolerating in life? Are you tolerating substandard, subpar health? If you are, that is holding you back in life in one way, shape, or form. And possibly it's trickling over. Not possibly, it is trickling over into the other aspects of your life. If you are in poor health, if you're not in the health and fitness standard that you desire and deserve for yourself, that means you are tolerating just below average, below your standard level of what it is that you want. And if you keep tolerating that, you will only get out of life what you are willing to tolerate. So the people that I see make these massive transformations, the people that come to me and they get on the train to success of weight loss and health and fitness and feeling good and looking good and being vibrant in life, they are no longer willing to tolerate subpar health. They're no longer willing to tolerate being overweight. They're no longer willing to tolerate the disease states that come along with this. You can look at toleration in every aspect of your life. Somebody listening right now is tolerating a subpar relationship with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your business associates. In some way, shape, or form in your life, you are tolerating a subpar relationship. Think about that. Do you like the one you're tolerating? Think about the relationship you're tolerating right now. Does it bring you joy? Does it bring you value? Does it bring you happiness? Does it bring you abundance? The answer is no, if you're just simply tolerating it. And then think about the relationships that you have that are full of abundance. They're full of love and light and all the things that you just can't get enough of. You see the difference there? So stop tolerating those horrible relationships that bring you no value, because at the end of the day, what those tolerations do is they hold you back because they set the standard for what it is that you're willing to get out of life. And I'm a firm believer that we teach people how to treat us. Think about that for a second. We teach people how to treat us. We teach ourselves how we will tolerate the way we treat ourselves. We teach our money how our money will treat us. You're like, Jay, well, money doesn't have any feelings. You're damn wrong, it does. Money has feelings. Money is energy. That's all it is. That's all everything is. So what low levels of energy are you tolerating? That's a way to look at your standards in life. Let me give you an example of how you can set a standard for yourself every single day. So every day, this note is pasted in my journal. So when I get up in the morning to write down my gratitude, I flip my journal over. This is on the inside cover. I have read this every day for the last, I can't even remember how long, probably 3, 4, 5 years. And it's simply this. It's my daily standard for myself. This lets me know how I'm going to show up today. This is a simple way, guys. I'm a firm believer in simple strategies, simple tools, and simple techniques to set you up for success. If you will have a daily standard, a daily intention, a daily mantra, whatever you want to call it, it will set you up for massive success throughout the day, every single day, because this is my recall button. Whenever things start to shift or I don't feel like I'm in alignment, this is my recall. I think about my daily standard. Am I behaving the way I said I was going to behave today? Am I doing the things I said I was going to do? Listen to this. This is my daily standard. Today, I will leave every person, place, and thing better than how I found it. I will lead with love and light in all of my encounters. I will shine the brightest in the darkest hours, and I will be the rock for those who seek a better way. I will hold place and space for those in need of help. Today, I will be the change that I seek in the world. I can't freaking lose if I show up like that every day. That is a mantra of someone who cannot lose. That is a daily standard of someone who is going to hold themselves to the highest level of expectations in all of their encounters, in all of their actions, in all of their behaviors. And if I show up like that, I am guaranteed victory. I can't lose. You cannot lose with an intention like that. You cannot lose with standards like that. But if you wake up and you're pissed, you're negative, you're bitchy, you're whatever it is, and you start your day like that, and you go through your day like that, you are going to get a life of toleration. You are simply going to have to tolerate shit all day long. I don't tolerate anything, because if it's something that if it's something that even makes me remotely think this is intolerable, it's gone or it's adjusted. It's shifted, it's adjusted, or it's eliminated. That's the way you have to approach life, because you will get what you tolerate out of life. Listen to this next piece. This is a power statement I'm about to read you. Write this down. Set the timer. Look at the time of this podcast, what time this is. If you can't write it down right now, go back to this place, write this down, and think about this as you move through your day every single day. This is talking about standards and how easily they are to be manipulated by bad behavior. When setting expectations, no matter what has been said or written, if substandard performance is accepted and no one is held accountable, if there are no consequences, that poor performance becomes the new standard. So let me read that to you again. When setting expectations, no matter what has been said or written, so it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you write down in your journal, it doesn't matter any of that. If substandard performance is accepted and no one is held accountable, if there are no consequences, that poor performance becomes the new standard. So it doesn't matter what you say, guys. It doesn't matter what you write down. It doesn't matter what your goals are. It doesn't matter what you tell people you're gonna do. If you don't do it and substandard performance is accepted by you and you don't hold yourself accountable, if your circle of success doesn't hold you accountable, and if there are no consequences, and what I mean by consequences, nobody's getting shellacked or whipped or caned or whatever it is that people are doing these days. It's just the consequences are you've got to be held accountable. You've got to have a group of people around you. You've got to get yourself into a state and a place where you can hold yourself accountable, and the consequences have to be that won't be tolerated anymore. Because if it is, that poor performance becomes your new standard. And that right there is called toleration. You are tolerating a life that you don't even want to live. Most of us in the world today are tolerating a life that we are not in love with. If you are not in love with the life you're living, guys, you're in toleration mode, and you've got to get out of it, because that is no way to live. You're just existing. If If you're tolerating, you're just existing. Life is meant to be loved and enjoyed and lived in its abundance. It's thriving. If you don't feel those feelings about your life, it's simply because you're tolerating a life that you don't deserve. Start living the life you deserve and desire by elevating your standards. So there's this thing called, I always screw this up. It's called Kikichi's Credo. So some cat named Kikichi a long time ago wrote down 100 credos or 100 statements that he believed to be his credo of life. I read this all the time, 1 through 100. I'll pick a number and I'll read it every day. I pick a new one. So I read this one the other day and this one really resonated with me. It's number 4 on his credo. And it's simply this: real regrets only come from not doing your best. All else is out of your control. You are measured by your results and your results alone. You must trade excuses and quote unquote trying for results and expect half-hearted results if you give half-hearted effort. Do more than is expected of you. And listen to this last part. Life's easy when you live it the hard way and hard when you live it the easy way. Now, this Kikichi cat was way above before his time. This is some real truth here. And when I say live life the hard way, life's not hard. Life's not that supposed to be challenging. But what he means by the hard way is when you hold yourself to a level of standards of excellence. If you live at a level and a standard of excellence, and you don't just allow yourself to live in a world of excuses and toleration, like that's the easy way. And life is hard when you live by excuses. Life is hard when you're simply tolerating it. Life is easy. Easy, easy, easy when you live a life of high standards. Guys, it just is true. Let me just flip this on you really quick. Here's the easiest way to make sure your standards, if they're at the highest level. You have to ask yourself this question: are my thoughts and my words congruent with my actions? See, because we all hear this. We all hear a lot of stuff. People are always gonna do, should do, wanna do, like all the shoulds and wannas out there. I mean, there's so many of them. But how often do we see those words culminate into that action of the highest standards that person said they were going to get? And so roll this back to yourself. Are your thoughts and words congruent with the actions you're putting out to the world? Are the things you say you want, the things you think about that you want, are your actions in perfect alignment and in congruency with those thoughts and words? If they're not, you're tolerating. You're not living a life of excellence in your standards. And you've got the easiest way to raise your standards on that is to make sure your actions become congruent with what it is you say you want. So if you say you're going to do something, the bottom line is this: it's super simple. Do it, right? That's it. Do it. And let's roll back to last week's call. Support plus accountability. Accountability makes it the magic multiplier. But here's where it happens. The further you move away from accountability, the less accountability you have in your life from yourself and from your peer group, the weaker you become. Think about that. Think about last week's podcast. Support alone is weak sauce. Support alone does not create the momentum you need to be successful. Support alone will not help you raise your standards. Support plus accountability will increase the level of your standards, and that's going to help you live the life that you desire, the life you deserve, because it's no longer a life of toleration. So again, ask yourself, what am I tolerating? Am I tolerating poor health? If the answer is yes, make a shift, make a change. I've got several options for you on that. You know that. You know I have a program called the Thrive Forever Fit program. We talk about this ad nauseum in the program. I will do everything in my power to get you to elevate your standards. You don't join my group and continue to have low standards. I will get you, I will push you, I will motivate you, I will encourage you, I will mentor you to get to a level of standard that you deserve. I've got a free group. If you don't want to pay for that, I've got a free group called the Wellness Lab Launchpad. It's an entry-level entree into the world of raising and elevating your standards. So if you're ready to show up and go up, it's the Thrive Forever Fit program. Just go thriveforeverfit.com, look it up, program, get in now. If you're ready to dip your toe in the water and just feel what it's like to have elevated standards around you, then join the Wellness Lab Launchpad. It's a free group on Facebook. Both options are beautiful. Both options should be taken advantage of. Here's the bottom line. Jay, how do I raise my standards? That's what some of you guys are saying. You're like, you've been running your mouth for I don't even know how long, Jay, but how do I do it? How do I actually raise my standards? You talked about tolerating. I get it. Okay, I got to stop tolerating stuff. Let me finish on that topic. Let me finish on that topic really quick. Are you tolerating bad relationships? Are you tolerating subpar relationships in your life? Are you tolerating relationships when you leave the ad encounter, you're like, oh my God, it was awful. Or I don't want to see that person today. Are you tolerating lack of money in your life? Are you tolerating paycheck to paycheck living? That's toleration. You're making a decision to tolerate those things. Raise and elevate your standards in every aspect of your life, your health and fitness, your relationships, your money and your work and your spirituality, and your life will exponentially get better. So Jay, how do I raise my standards? Here's the bottom line. The strongest force in the human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. The strongest force in the human personality is your need and desire to stay consistent with who it is you believe you are. Think about that for 1 second. You will never exceed the level of who you believe you are. If you believe that you're an average Joe, if you believe that you don't deserve to have a six-pack, if you don't believe you deserve to be healthy and fit, if you don't believe you deserve to have great, abundant, vibrant relationships, if you don't believe you deserve to have money, you will never have any of it. You won't have money. You'll always have shitty relationships, and your physical standards, your physical body will be one that you are not satisfied with. Because it comes back to that levels of toleration I've been talking about the entire podcast. If you're willing to tolerate a body that you don't feel like you deserve, or the one that you really don't desire, then the only thing you can do is change the perception of who you believe you are. And that's when I see people make massive changes. When they wake up and say, this is not me. I am not meant to be 50 pounds overweight. I'm not meant to be in pain all the time because of the damage I've done to my body. I'm not meant to be sick all the time because of the way I treat my body. I'm treating my body like a garbage can. That is not what I am here for. That's when people make a shift. That's when people make a change. When they change who it is they believe they are. And you will never in life have more than you believe you deserve. So you have to believe you deserve to have that better body. You have to believe you deserve to have the health and fitness that you desire. And that's part of this. That's part of the support and the accountability and the mentorship and the coaching and listening to podcasts like this and getting around people like me who believe in you more than you believe in yourself. It's that simple. You have to start the process of believing that you deserve more than you currently have. Because let me read it to you again. The strongest force in the human personality is to stay congruent and consistent with how we define ourselves, who we believe we are. You will never you won't exceed that, guys. And on a bigger note, make sure the people that you're around, make sure the people you're surrounding yourself with believe in you and they believe you can and should be better. Because another aspect of human nature is we will never outgrow the expectations of our peer group. We'll never outgrow the expectations of the people we surround ourselves with. If the people we're around on a daily basis don't believe that we can be better, do more, have more, be more, we will always just settle into that. And that's toleration, right? If your group is a group of tolerators, you got to get rid of them, or you got to shift their perspective and get them to see that you guys can no longer tolerate a substandard level of life and you all deserve excellence. Make sense? God, it sure sounds like it does when I rant on it like that, doesn't it? Guys, the simple things you can do, right? Join the wellness, it's free. Join Wellness Lab Launchpad on Facebook right now. It is free. You got nothing to lose, right? If you're ready to take that next step of your life and actually go all in and get where you want to go quicker, right? All coaching is getting further faster. Surrounding yourself by someone who has a proven system, proven methodologies that they can help you get to where you want to go faster. That's all coaching is. Join the Thrive Forever Fit program. If you want the link, send me a note. I'll pop you a link. We'll get you in. We'll make a life-changing opportunity for you today. You deserve it. Lastly, if you love my podcast, if you'd love to hear me, if you love these messages and you feel like there's somebody in your life that needs to hear it, maybe you feel like there's somebody in your life that you want them to support you on your journey, send them my podcast. Let them listen to this so they can understand where it is you're coming from. Because maybe they won't hear it from you because, right, they're so used to hearing you say things, but maybe they'll hear this and say, hey, this is what I'm about to do. This is where I'm at in my life. I need to elevate my standards. What do you think? You want to go with me? And the winners in your life will say, hell yeah, I want to go with you. High five, let's go. Share this podcast. If you love it and you haven't given it a review yet, please go give it a review. That's how people hear more about it. That's how more beautiful people get to hear messages that will change their life. Just go to Amazon. I mean, not Amazon, go to iTunes, click the 5 stars, write a little review. Simple. Guys, most importantly, this, I want you to live the life you deserve and desire. That's it. That's what I want for you. That's my purpose. That's my passion. Like I said earlier, today I will leave every person, place, and thing better than how I found it. And that is my mission. That's why I'm here. That's what I want to do for you. So until we talk again, I need you to believe that. And if you need something from me, send me a note, send me a message. I'll help you out. I'll get you where you want to go. Guys, have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Be awesome to each other. I love you, and we will talk super soon. All right, bye.